So you run a company that uses jet fuel. You want to protect yourself from rising fuel price. But there is no easy way to trade jet fuel futures. What do you do? You hedge with something close enough like crude oil futures. That is called cross hedging. And today I'm going to show you exactly what it is, why it exists, and where it can go wrong. So, first, a simple explanation. We will start with a simple explanation. Normal hedging is straightforward. You own wheat, you hedge with wheat futures. Same asset, opposite position, clean. Cross hedging is what you do when that exact match doesn't exist or is not practical. Instead, you hedge with a different but related asset, something that tend to move in a similar direction. So this is what cross hedging. And next we are going to discuss about why would anyone do this instead of a normal hedging. Three main reasons are existing for this reason. First reason is no direct market exists. There is no future contract for my specific regional crop or jet fuel in my country. The market for the exact thing you want just is not there. So reason two, the direct market is too illiquid. Sometimes a contract technically exists, but almost nobody trades it. Low liquidity means widespread and bad price. A related, more liquid market can actually be cheaper and safer to use, even though it is not a perfect match. Then reason three, correlation is close enough to be useful. If asset A and B moves together 85% of the time, hedging with B removes most of your risk. Even if it is not 100% of it, business often accept mostly protected over perfectly protected but impossible to execute. So next the catch, the basic risk. Here's the part most explained. Cross hedging is not free protection. It introduces a new risk called basic risk. So it is not a clear protection. Basic risk is in the simple thing, the risk that you hedge and your actual exposure doesn't move perfectly together. Let's say you hedge jet fuel with crude oil futures. Most of the time they move in the same direction, but sometimes refining cost spike. So jet fuel jump while crude oil barely moves. The geopolitical event hits crude oil specifically, but doesn't affect jet fuel the same way. So in the both case, you hedge protect fuel less than you're expected because the relationship between the two assets temporarily broken down. And how people decide if the cross hedge is worth it. So how do professionally decide if a cross hedge is good enough to use? Two things roughly. First one, correlation. Second one is hedge ratio. So correlation. How closely and how consistently do the two assets move together historically? Higher and more stable correlation is equal to better cross hedge. Hedging ratio. Second one. This is a fancy term for a simple idea. How much of asset B do I need to properly offset my exposure to asset A? It is rarely a clean one-to-one swap. You often need to size the hedge up or down based on how sensitive each asset is to the same underlying forces. You don't need the math to understand the concept. Cross hedging is a calibrate estimated, not an exact science. It is designed to reduce risk substantially, not eliminate it completely. So now the quick recap: cross hedging is not protecting yourself using a related asset, not the exact one. You do it because the exact hedging doesn't exist. It is too illiquid or the substitute is close enough. The trade-off is basic risk. Your hedging might not track your real exposure perfectly. It choose carefully using correlation and hedging ratio, not guesswork. The real word takeaway cross hedging is what businesses do when perfect protection is not available. Some protection is much better than that. It is not about eliminating risk, it is about trading an unpredictable risk for a smaller, more manageable one. Okay, we will see in the next video.